There is a very specific moment when a man who pulled away suddenly feels a shift in the air. He doesn't know why. He can't explain it. But something inside him begins to stir. Something whispers to him that he might lose you. And that fear becomes the catalyst for his pursuit. And today I'm going to show you exactly why this shift happens and how you can activate it within yourself, not through manipulation, not through tricks, but through deep psychological transformation. This is the work Carl Jung called shadow integration, the process of reclaiming the parts of yourself that make you magnetic, self-possessed, unshakable, and impossible to replace. The psychology of chasing men don't chase women because they're hard to get. They chase women who embody something he cannot access in himself. Carl Jung said, "Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart." And attraction, real attraction, begins when a woman becomes connected to her heart, not his. When you're anxious, overthinking, or doubting your worth, your energy moves outward. You try to read him, decode him, predict him. Your center shifts from yourself to him. And when that happens, something subtle but powerful occurs. You begin to lose your polarity. A man doesn't chase a woman because she's available. He chases because she is rooted in herself. A woman who is rooted in herself moves differently. She speaks slower. She chooses softer. She no longer grasps. She no longer abandons her boundaries. She no longer negotiates with her worth. And here's the part most women never understand. Men sense energy faster than they sense words. He doesn't pull away because you said something wrong. He pulls away because your energy told him, "I need you to validate me more than I value myself." And that is the moment the pursuit collapses. But here's the good news. Just as that energy made him pull away, a different energy can make him chase you again, and even deeper than before. And that brings us to the first transformation. The withdrawal of projection. Carl Jung said that we do not fall in love with a person, we fall in love with our own projection. When you like someone, you don't like their reality, you like what you project onto them. Your desire to be chosen, your need for belonging, your fantasy of a secure love, your idealization of who you hope he becomes. But projection isn't love. It's a mirror, and when you project onto a man, two things happen. One, he feels pressure he cannot describe because he can sense you are relating to the idea of him, not the real him. Two, you lose yourself because you start abandoning your own needs in service of the fantasy. Men pull away when the energy becomes too heavy, too expectant, too charged. So here is the first step to getting him to chase you. Withdraw your projection. Pull your energy back from the fantasy and return it to your body, to your breath. He suddenly feels free again. Free to miss you, free to be curious, free to wonder. Projection kills curiosity. Presence brings it back to life. This is why, when you detach and come back to yourself, he suddenly starts noticing the emptiness where your energy used to cling to him. And that emptiness is what calls him back. The shadow of neediness. Now let's go deeper. Carl Jung believed that we all have an inner shadow, the parts of ourselves we hide, suppress, and deny. For most women who chase, text first, overthink, their shadow contains one thing: need. Not emotional need, that's healthy, but existential need. The belief, I am not enough on my own. I need him to feel complete. I need him to validate my worth. I need his love to feel safe. And men feel this instantly. Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life, and you will call it fate. So let me guide you through an exercise. Close your eyes, take a slow breath, and ask yourself, what do I want from him that I'm afraid to give to myself? Is it love, attention, validation, reassurance, a sense of being desired? Once you name the need, you can reclaim it. Because here is the truth Jung understood. Whatever you chase in someone else is the part of you that you have abandoned. And the moment you reclaim it, you stop chasing. And he starts. The return to self. Men chase when they feel the feminine pole within a woman. The feminine pole is not sexual, it is psychological. It is a woman who is present, receptive, calm, grounded, whole within herself. The opposite of chasing is returning to your inner world. When you return to yourself, your aura changes. You become a woman he cannot figure out, because you are no longer orbiting around him. You are orbiting around yourself. A man chases women who are not afraid to be alone, understand their inner landscape, do not collapse when someone pulls away, walk through life with emotional self-possession, carry their feminine mystery like an aura. This is the woman he cannot replace. The silence that awakens his psyche. There is a silence that is desperate, and there is a silence that is powerful. You must become the second. When you give a man space from a place of insecurity, he feels your fear. He feels you waiting. He feels your anxiety. This type of silence makes him distance more. But when your silence comes from a place of grounded certainty, from inner fullness, from emotional sovereignty, something else happens entirely. Your silence becomes a mirror in which he must confront his own feelings. Men think when you talk. Men feel when you're silent. If your silence is full of waiting, he feels relief. If your silence is full of self-return, he feels fear. Fear of losing you. This is the silence that makes him chase. The shadow of the dark feminine. Carl Jung believed that every woman has two sides. The light feminine, nurturing, soft, loving. The dark feminine, boundaries, mystery, self-respect. When a woman is only light feminine, she becomes overly giving, overly available. This is when pursuit dies. The dark feminine brings balance. She is the archetype that activates a man's primal instincts. Because the dark feminine teaches him, I will love you deeply, but I will not collapse for you. Most men pull away because a woman is too available. Most men chase because a woman learns to embody her dark feminine shadow. When you reclaim your boundaries, he feels it. When you stop pleasing, he notices. And when you stop abandoning yourself, he remembers who you are. The dark feminine is not cruel. She is simply sovereign. She knows her value, and she does not negotiate it. The mirror effect, his realization. There comes a moment when your transformation becomes visible to him energetically. He doesn't see the work you did. He doesn't know the psychology behind it. But he feels the shift. Your energy is no longer seeking him. Your self-worth is no longer tied to him. Your internal world is no longer orbiting around him. And that's when he feels something unexpected. Loss. Not loss of you physically, loss of the emotional access he once had. He realizes, she's not waiting. She's not chasing. She's not anxious. She's not trying to fix. She's not asking. She's not proving. She's not demanding. She's not competing. And this is when the dynamic flips, because when a woman is emotionally self-contained, a man finally sees her clearly. He sees her softness, her strength, her independence, her emotional depth, her self-love, her worth, her absence of desperation, her ability to walk away. And this is what makes him chase. Because men don't chase women who need them, they chase women they fear losing. The transformation of self, the final shift. Now we arrive at the most important part of Jung's teachings. Real attraction begins when you become your full self, not a version of you shaped by insecurity, not a version shaped by attachment, not a version shaped by fear, not a version shaped by validation, not a version shaped by need, but your full self, the woman you are when you know your worth, you trust your inner world, you honor your boundaries, you do not beg for connection, you choose yourself first, you move slowly and intentionally, you no longer abandon your emotional needs, you no longer chase potential, you no longer romanticize crumbs. This is the version of you who draws in a man's true desire, not his ego, not his convenience, not his boredom, not his loneliness, but his devotion, because the woman who is chosen deeply is the woman who has chosen herself first. He no longer has emotional power over you. He no longer determines your mood. He no longer dictates your energy. He no longer holds the key to your self-worth. And paradoxically, this is the exact moment he becomes drawn to you with a level of intensity he cannot control. Because now you represent something rare, a woman who wants him but does not need him, a woman he desires but cannot possess, a woman who is open but not dependent, a woman who loves but never abandons herself. This is the woman Jung called the individuated feminine, the woman who has integrated her shadow, claimed her worth, and embodied her wholeness. And this is the woman every man is afraid to lose. So if you want him to chase you back, do not chase him. Do not punish him. Do not manipulate him. Do not act cold for reaction. Do not pretend to not care. Instead, return to yourself. Withdraw your projection. Integrate your shadow. Embody your dark feminine. Because once you do this, there is only one outcome. He feels the shift. He feels the loss. And he comes back, not because you chased him, but because you stopped abandoning yourself. And this is how you become the woman he will never risk losing again. To listen more videos, press like and hit subscribe button.